are dead and 3 are hurt in a California shooting.
A 34-year-old man sentenced to 40 years in prison for the murder of Aquarius Watson in Victoria.
And we take a closer look at the great performance by the Texas Education Agency in the Victoria ISD.
Pretty calm on the outside now, live view from Cuero, but thunderstorms tomorrow will increase the severe weather risk around here. There is a possibility of that. We'll give you the full details coming up in my full weather.
And a Victoria legend is being honored tonight at the East Titan Awards banquet. That and more in sports.
You're watching 25 News Now at 10. Good evening. You're watching 25 News Now at 10. I'm Don Brubaker.
And I'm Karina Garcia. Thank you for joining us. New at 10, 4 people are dead and 3 are critically hurt after shootings at 2 different locations in Half Moon Bay today. The first shooting happened at a mountain mushroom farm, killing 1 person and critically hurting 3 others. The second shooting happened at the Rice Trucking Soil Farm, where 3 people were killed. Police say the shooting suspect is now in custody and there is no threats to the community. It's unclear what led to the shooting or what was the motive.
A Victoria woman was killed in a crash Saturday near Cuero. It happened around 6:35 a.m. Authorities say 38-year-old Victoria resident Laura Yvette Rivera died when her vehicle was hit head-on by a tractor trailer on U.S. Highway 183 about a mile and a half north of Cuero. DPS is investigating the fatal crash. Texas Rangers are investigating an officer-involved shooting in Cuero. It happened Sunday around 4:15 p.m. in the 400 block of West Hamilton. A 44-year-old man died at Cuero Regional Hospital. Police say he fired at officers as he tried to run away. An officer returned fire and hit the suspect. The officer is on administrative duties pending a full investigation.
One of our viewers sent us a short video where you can hear 9 gunshots in the officer-involved shooting. You'll hear 6 shots, an 8-second pause, and then 3 more shots. The clip runs about 27 seconds. The name of the man who died has not been released. A Victoria woman was killed in a crash Saturday near Cuero. It happened around 6:35 a.m. Authorities say 38-year-old Victoria resident Laura Yvette Rivera died when her vehicle was hit head-on by a tractor trailer on U.S. Highway 183 about a mile and a half north of Cuero. The Texas DPS is investigating this fatal crash. Now, an 18-year-old man is charged with the murder in the killing of 2 teenagers at an alternative educational program in Des Moines. Preston Wiles is charged with 2 counts of murder and 1 count of attempted murder. 2 teenagers were killed in the attack. The program's founder was hurt. Police say Wiles and the 2 students who were killed were in opposing gangs. Wiles was on a supervised pretrial released on weapons charge and had removed an ankle bracelet 16 minutes before he went to the school with a gun.
A 34-year-old man sentenced to 40 years in prison for the murder of Aquarius Watson in Victoria. Jose Gonzalez Jr. pleaded guilty to the charge of murder. Watson was killed outside a local bar and grill on October 27, 2020. Authorities found clothing items worn by Gonzalez in a dumpster at a local business. Police in Cuero also worked a stabbing Sunday. It happened around 2:15 p.m. in the 300 block of West French Street. A 28-year-old man was transported to a San Antonio hospital and at last report was in stable condition. Authorities arrested 38-year-old Juan Gabriel Miranda Escobar. Police say this all started with a fight at a house. The suspect is charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon.
In Fort Worth, 16-year-old Zachariah Trevino was fatally shot outside a Fort Worth Whataburger restaurant Friday afternoon after a verbal altercation between a group of people escalated into gunfire. Investigators over the weekend identified 3 suspects in the shooting. 3 people are in custody and facing a murder charge in connection with this fatal shooting that killed the 16-year-old high school student. KXAS reports Fort Worth police have taken 17-year-old Daniel Reed, 17-year-old Isaiah Nuez, and 16-year-old juvenile male into custody. All three charged with murder and aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and the death of Zachariah Trevino.
He seen somebody getting hurt. He ran to, straight to that and jumped in the way. And, that's why we're here today. He tried to do his best to protect somebody, and instead it took his life. But God has a purpose for everything.
Trevino's mother says through her faith she has forgiven the shooter and hopes they learn a lesson from this. Let's take a first look at your forecast with First Warn Storm Team meteorologist Trey Mining. Trey?
It was a nice cool day today, but things are transitioning to more stormy pattern. Increasing clouds already have that on the outside. Rain chance on the rise after 3 a.m. or so. Severe weather risk tomorrow. Heavy rainfall also possible on Tuesday. Cold temperatures middle part of the week. We have to get through severe weather risk for your day tomorrow, which does include the possibility of tornadoes, maybe, and also some large hail damaging winds. We'll take a look at that and everything you need to know for your weather tomorrow and the rest of the week a little bit later on in my full forecast.
Trey, thank you. The latest on the mass shooting at a dance studio in Monterey Park, California during a Lunar New Year celebration. The death toll rises to 11 after a victim dies in the hospital today.
Investigators are working to pin down a motive after they said the suspect died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
65-year-old Mei Mei Nan loved going to Star Dance Studio in Monterey Park, California on weekends. But unfortunately, Saturday was her last dance.
She actually decided to leave early that night and come home to set up for Lunar New Year the next day. It's an event we were all looking forward to as a family, because we spent the past 3 weeks grieving for my grandmother.
Police say she was one of 11 killed when 72-year-old alleged gunman Hu Ken Tran opened fire during a Lunar New Year celebration.
I heard the sound like a bullet.
Investigators searching the suspect's home to identify a motive.
We recovered one .308 caliber rifle, numerous electronic devices such as cell phones, computers, etc. Items that lead us to believe the suspect was manufacturing homemade firearm suppressors.
Authorities say about 20 minutes after the massacre, the suspect entered a second dance hall in neighboring Alhambra. 26-year-old Brandon Say wrestling a semi-automatic assault pistol away from him before he could injure anyone else.
I realized I needed to get the weapon away from him, disarm him, or else everybody would have died.
SWAT teams surrounding the suspect in this white van on Sunday before police say he died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Tran appears to have been a professional truck driver for at least 20 years and a regular at both dance studios, according to a longtime acquaintance. The city has opened a crisis resource center to help people cope and offer any assistance they may need in moving forward. Rena Roy, ABC News, Monterey Park, California.
Senate Bill 147 is a proposed Texas law that would ban governments, businesses, and citizens of China, Iran, North Korea, and Russia from buying real estate in Texas. The bill, filed by Republican State Senator Lois Kolkhorst, piggybacks on a 2021 law banning hostile nations from owning infrastructure projects in Texas. But protests emerge in Houston after some call SB 147 xenophobic for banning asylum seekers and immigrants from China, North Korea, and residents with green cards from buying property in Texas.
Senate Bill 147. And despite what people say, very clearly targets people who are here lawfully. It targets visa holders that we have tried to attract from around the world. It targets lawful permanent residents, or green card holders, as we call them.
Roughly 500,000 green card holders from China alone live in the United States. State Senator for District 18, Lois Kolkhorst, will be a busy person in this state legislative session. In the assignments announced by Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick today, Senator Kolkhorst is the chairman of the Committee on Health and Human Services, and she is a member of the Business and Commerce, Finance, Natural Resources and Economic Development, and Water, Agriculture, and Rural Affairs committees.
The Texas Education Agency released report cards for campuses in the Victoria ISD.
25 News Now reporter Adarius McCormick takes a closer look and has more.
Victoria ISD school report card scared me when I seen all those B's, but fortunately these are not the B's that sting. Though the district performed below the state average, Victoria ISD improved from its grades in 2021. Star performance rates at master's grade level increased by 4% in the district. Star performance rates at meets grade level or above increased by 6% in the district. Vickers Elementary in Mission Valley scored over 90 in each section. Shields and O'Connor Elementary scored A's in the school progress section, and both schools shared those B's for their overall ratings. Both schools' academic growth scores grew almost 20 points. None of the schools scored below average, but they failed to reach the state average. Nonetheless, good job to our Victoria ISD students for improving. Reporting in Victoria, I'm Darius McCormick, KAVU-TV, 25 News Now.
And with that, here's your viewer poll this evening. Scan that QR code right there on your screen. What overall rating do you give the Victoria ISD? 6% give it an A, 15% give it a B, 23% stand at C, 11% give it a D, and 45% give it an F. Thank you for participating tonight. Remember, come to crossroadstoday.com/vote to participate in all our daily viewer polls. Red River Street will close between Ben Wilson and Del Papa Street January 24th and 25th for utility installation. All businesses and homes in the construction zone will remain accessible. The construction is part of the $7.2 million Ben Wilson Corridor Improvement Project. The project is expected to be fully complete by August.
Stay with us. Coming up on 25 News now at 10. The County District Attorney's Office in Tennessee says video of Tyre Nichols is expected for release this week.
Also ahead, Boeing faces trial for an arraignment next week on criminal charges related to aviation crashes.
In Texas, the future belongs to everyone, so we created the truck of the future for everyone. Ford F-150, part of America's best-selling trucks for 46 straight years. With an available 12-inch touchscreen and interior work surface, it puts the world at your fingertips. And there's a great in-stock selection to choose from at your best in Texas Ford dealer. Drive a new 2022 Ford F-150 today with 0% financing plus $1,000 bonus cash plus complimentary maintenance.
Ford is the best in Texas.
When our law firm takes your case, it becomes part of our world. Everyone at the firm works together as a team to get the job done.
We work with each other. We go to trial together.
We're the ones that wake up in the middle of the night thinking about what to do next on a case. That's our job. That's what we're here for.
We help each other on cases, and that's why we get the results that we do.
We are members of this community, and when a member of this community trusts us with their case, we take that trust very seriously.
Now more than ever, it's important to find new ways to boost your physical and emotional health. The Crossroads Heart and Stroke Walk is a great way to stay socially connected while making an impact in your community and saving lives. Join the American Heart Association at 8 a.m. Saturday, February 4th at Victoria College UHV campus to get heart walking for yourself and others. Go to crossroadsheartwalk.org to register. See you February 4th.
Sponsored in part by the Victoria Television Group.
The dogs bit me from behind.
A pit bull owner oblivious to reality.
You still have all these dogs, sir?
Yes, I do. They're great dogs, too. While a neighbor suffers through the aftermath.
Where are you giving the rabies shots?
2 in the thighs, 2 in the arms at the same time, and 1 in the bite. And that was one day. And then I had 3 more after that.
That's because your dogs didn't have rabies shots.
Next, Judge Judy.
The arrest video of a Memphis man who passed away after he was taken into custody is expected for release next week, according to a district attorney's office. Memphis officers pulled over Tyre Nichols on January 10th for reckless driving. They said when officers approached him, a confrontation occurred and he fled. After his arrest, Nichols complained of shortness of breath and was taken to a hospital in critical condition. Nichols died days later.
What we can tell you about the video is it is appalling. It is deplorable. It is heinous. Attorney Ramanucci, what was your word? Violent?
Violent.
Violent. It is very troublesome on every level.
The Memphis Police Department has terminated 5 black officers for violating department policies in connection with Nichols' death. The Tennessee Bureau of Investigation is investigating. The Department of Justice and the FBI have also opened a civil rights investigation.
A Texas federal judge this afternoon ruled that Boeing must report next Thursday in a Texas courtroom to be arraigned on federal criminal charges for the deaths of the 346 who were killed in 2 Boeing MAX 737 airplane crashes in 2018 and 2019. Boeing was granted immunity from the DOJ as part of a $2.5 billion deferred prosecution agreement, but a judge rescinded Boeing's immunity because the victims' families were not a part of the process. The FDA is weighing a major shift in its strategy to administer COVID-19 vaccines.
The U.S. Food and Drug Administration wants to simplify the COVID-19 vaccine process to mirror that of the flu vaccine.
I certainly can't say that patients are very confused and have been. I think even from the start. What does full vaccination mean? What's part of your regular cycle? What's a booster?
The FDA says it expects to assess circulating strains of the virus that causes COVID-19 at least annually and decide in June which strains to select for the fall season, much like the process to update flu vaccines.
Messaging that is more simple of when you should get your next shot, essentially, I think will be helpful for those people who do have the intention to stay immunized and on top of their vaccines.
Moving forward, most people may need only 1 dose of a COVID-19 vaccine to restore protection, regardless of how many shots they've already received. 2 doses may be needed for people who are very young and haven't been exposed, or for elderly or immune compromised. The FDA saying this simplification of vaccine composition should reduce complexity, decrease vaccine administration errors due to the complexity of a number of different vial presentations, and potentially increase vaccine compliance by allowing clear communication.
The more immunity you have to something before you face that something, the better you're going to do when you come across it.
Right now, no resolution on whether courts can force private social media companies to censor speech. 3 cases that would help answer that question are waiting to be heard in the Supreme Court. The justices delayed those cases. Right now, a Florida and Texas law that allows social media users to sue platforms for censoring their speech are temporarily blocked. For now, social media and other platforms are still allowed to create their own terms of service.
For more on today's news stories, come to our website, crossroadstoday.com. Crossroadstoday.com is looking shiny and new at KABU TV. As we speed things up digitally, we hope you enjoy the new look.
And looking at a severe weather risk for our day tomorrow, which does include Victoria County and Calhoun County, and marginal to enhanced risk here. So be careful out there. We'll give you updates as we go throughout the day on the severe weather potential. By the time we get to 4 o'clock, it's pretty much all out of here. But until then, we're on the hot seat for severe weather, which does include, like it says here, large hail, damaging winds, and the threat of tornadoes around the region. So be weather aware, and we'll keep you informed. Our full forecast comes up after the break.
It's been a great year of Bravo Honda, but 2023 will be the best year yet! And that means amazing savings like a 2023 Civic for $279 a month and 3.9 financing for 48 months! Bravo!
Join us at First United Methodist Church Sunday mornings at 8:30 on KABU TV. But if you're looking for a place to worship in person, we'd love to have you join us here at 8:30 and 10:40 in our sanctuary, or at 11 o'clock with Pastor Amanda in our Ignite Contemporary service. As society gets more and more back to normal, we hope that you'll join us for worship. We were made to worship in community. We pray together, sing together, share in Holy Communion together. Won't you come be the church with us at First United Methodist Church?
Over the past month, there have been several burglaries involving a suspect throwing a brick through the front door of a closed business and then stealing a cash register from inside the business. Investigators believe these incidents may be connected. The most recent burglary occurred on September 1st. If you have any information about these burglaries, submit a tip to Victoria Crime Stoppers at 361-572-4200. All tips are anonymous. If you give information that leads to arrest or charges being filed, you could earn a cash reward.
From America's #1 news source comes the all-new ABC News app. Breaking news, incredible video, faster, smarter, and it can customize to you and your interests. If you love being in the know, you're gonna love this. Experience what all the buzz is about. Experience the all-new ABC News app. Download it now.
Anytime I hear Madonna's name, immediately I think of you. So
Really? Same.
The Material Girls announced a U.S. tour.
Next live, Josh Duhamel and Brianne Howie.
They're looking for models over 50. Hey, when you think about over 50, who do you think about? Kelvin's like, I don't know, Cindy Crawford. What about a fresh face?
Dramatic crime scene photos, damning interrogation tapes, and twisted lies. She's been silent, but now she's ready to expose her daughter's lies.
There is no way it's him.
I wanted, with words, for them to throw her up against the wall and say, you're done.
That was a big turning point for me. There's something wrong in this case.
You guys are going to find this so interesting, I promise you. New Dr. Phil.
And good evening, meteorologist Trey Mining here. Let's take a look at this one more time because it's going to define our weather throughout your day on Tuesday. This is severe weather outlook. A marginal risk includes Victoria County, also Calhoun County, Jackson County, Wharton, Matagorda, down to the Houston-Galveston area. And around this, which does include Cuero, Goliad, Refugio, Hallettsville, and points to the east from there, that is a slight risk of severe weather. And the smallest risk, marginal risk around that, from Gonzales to about Kennedy, Karnes City, Beeville, sitting in the Corpus Christi metro area. So we're definitely on the hot seat for severe weather tomorrow, and we need to keep weather aware. We will keep weather aware just for you. And we'll keep current temperatures in the 50s and high pressure to our east, so the winds have returned off the Gulf of Mexico, bringing back the clouds and the humidity. And a strong front, a strong upper level support with this front will also bring severe weather, more than likely, and cold temperatures and this icing event well to our north. Ice will not get this far south, but the rain definitely will. And about this time, we'll see right here at 4 or 5 o'clock, when the front moves through, that's the best chance of severe weather right here with the clashing air masses. Once it does move on through, we'll have clearing skies, colder temperatures around the low, and we'll give our temperatures will be more than likely in the 30s by the time we wake up early on your Wednesday morning. And moves on to the east. Of course, another rain chance later on in the week by about the weekend or so. Future tracker, we're seeing the cloudy skies already in place around the Crossroads region. By 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, we'll see the rain moving in from west to east, scattered to numerous rain showers and storms throughout the majority of the day on your Tuesday into the afternoon. Now this right here is a squall line. This is the actual frontal zone right here that will move on through, and that's the best chance of severe weather with this line here. More than likely could see some tornadoes potentially, heavy rainfall definitely, and also gusty winds may do some damage. Once it moves on through though, the skies will begin to clear, northerly winds will take hold, and we'll begin to see cooler temperatures coming up for your day on Wednesday. Highs only in the probably the 50s after the Wednesday time frame, maybe Thursday and Friday. You'll see northern winds taking hold, and we, of course, get to much more calmer and cooler weather pattern by Wednesday into your Thursday. So the rest of the evening, rain-free, cloudy skies in the 50s. Increasing clouds already have that. For your overnight tonight, 50 degrees or so. Rain beginning by 3 a.m., moving in west to east across the entire Crossroads region. Gusty winds, 10 to 20 miles per hour. And for your day tomorrow, we'll call it 70 degrees. Severe weather potential, heavy rain at times. Of course, be weather aware as you go about your day, and we'll keep you informed. And the time frame for the severe weather is rather short, ending by 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon tomorrow. And then Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, the sun returns with highs in the 50s to near 60 degrees. Look at the lows just above freezing, so definitely cold temperatures still continue to stay around here. By the time we get to Saturday and Sunday, we'll see rain chances increase again, and that moisture flow back up to near 70 degrees for your Saturday and Sunday as well. Looks like the storm system by the weekend will not be anywhere near the powerfulness of this storm moving through for your Tuesday, but it still causes some rain chances with a likely Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. First things first, once again a reminder, severe weather risk for your day tomorrow. We keep you informed around here. Primary risk will be heavy rainfall, followed by large hail, damaging winds, and maybe a tornado or so. And make it a great evening. And take a look at this right here. This is the QR code. What you need to do is get your smartphone, scan the code that you see right there. That'll take you to a web page. You can download the Crossroads Today app and also sign up for email alerts. News, weather, and sports at your fingertips. Very easy, convenient, very handy to have, and it is free of charge.
And the UHV baseball team is preparing for the doubleheader on Friday. That's coming up after the break.
Texas, now's the time to gear up and save on a new Ford SUV. Get great deals on our most capable lineup, with a great in-stock selection to choose from, like the spacious and tech-savvy Ford Expedition or Ford Explorer and Bronco Sport. Ford SUVs, #1 in brand loyalty. Now lease a new 2022 Ford Escape for just $358 a month for 36 months. Visit your Texas Ford dealer today.
Ford is the best in Texas.
The dogs bit me from behind.
A pit bull owner oblivious to reality.
You still have all these dogs, sir?
Yes, I do. They're great dogs, too.
While a neighbor suffers through the aftermath.
Where are you giving the rabies shots?
2 in the thighs, 2 in the arms at the same time, and 1 in the bite. And that was one day. And then I had 3 more after that.
That's because your dogs didn't have rabies shots.
Next, Judge Judy.
What makes a terrific Tuesday, y'all?
An all-new Kelly.
Give it up for Emma Roberts, everybody. Last time you were here, you were very pregnant.
I was +1.
Yeah. So are you sleeping again?
All I care about now is making my sleep the most luxurious possible. So I'm like, eye mask, bath, everything I can do to get the best 4 hours sleep.
I will be a human you hate if I get less than 7 hours.
Yes.
Jen Shaw recently was sentenced to 6.5 years. Being in jail is no joke, because I went to jail for 8 days. So y'all thought I was just a talk show host, didn't you?
As of today, in a big way, we have inaugurated abcnews.com.
A lot has changed in our world since Peter made that announcement. But what hasn't changed is the commitment to groundbreaking reporting and innovation at abcnews.com. And here's to everything ahead.
Howdy Crossroads tonight at the Victoria East Sports Banquet. An NFL quarterback made an appearance. The Victoria East quarterback Bailey Zappi came back home and made an appearance, signing autographs and taking photos with his hometown crowd. Zappi would be honored tonight by having his number 4, retired by the school.
I mean, this journey is, it's been full of blessing. It's nothing short of amazing. But I can honestly say being back here in my hometown, surrounded by everyone in here at this event, surrounded by family, friends, people that I've grown up with, since I was 5 years old. Schmitty, we played CYFL at 5, Texas football, that gets you going early. Again, I just want to say thank y'all for everything. Thank you for the support that y'all have given me and my family throughout this long journey, and I'll forever represent Victoria and the 361 for, as long as I live.
Zappi received a standing ovation, and having his number retired means no one will be allowed to wear that number in the school's future. Zappi was joined by his parents and his girlfriend. And baseball season is back, and teams are eager to hit the diamond. The UHV Jaguars are fired up for its home opener this Friday and have high expectations for this year. The Jags are led by new manager coach Stavanova and have a former Victoria East graduate on the team as well.
Ready to get going. I think everything's going to fall in. All pieces are going to fall together, and just ready to see what this team can do.
The attention to the small details is what's going to take you to that next level. And I think at the end of the day, we've got a chance to compete for a conference championship and make a run into the playoffs and see where we can go with this squad.
Former manager and Astros legend Terry Poole helped bring Coach Stav here to Victoria and raved about his passion. And it will be on display this Friday at Riverside Stadium for a season-opening doubleheader at 1 and 4 p.m. The Texas High School Baseball State rankings are out, and 2 Crossroads area teams are being mentioned in the top 10. The highest-ranked team in the state in Class 2A are the Shiner Comanches. The Purple and Gold are projected to finish undefeated and win its first state title since 2004. The next 2A team mentioned is the Refugio Bobcats. They did not make the top 10. The El Campo Rice Birds are mentioned, and they are number 9. The road back to Round Rock begins soon, and the state tournament will be June 7th through the 10th. Last week, multiple Crossroads members were mentioned in the Padilla poll, highlighted by 2 from Refugio and 1 from Shiner. Comanches running back Dalton Brooks was named as the Class 2A Division I Offensive Player of the Year. Refugio defensive back Caleb Brown was named to the Class 2A Division I Defensive Player of the Year. And Refugio head football coach Jason Herring was named as the Coach of the Year. Well, Don, it was so cool to see the reaction that Bailey Zappi got at the Victoria Community Center. What does it mean to you to see him back here and have his number retired for Victoria East?
It's absolutely fantastic. He's done just a super job in college and the NFL, and it's just utterly fantastic that Victoria ISD is retiring his number 4 jersey at East. He is very, very deserving.
And Don, even though you can't get it at Victoria East, you can still get it on NFL.com. So.
Hey, all right, check it out. Get on that website. Gino, thank you. Stay with us. Coming up on 25 News now at 10. We'll take a last look at your weather. Plus, 2 Michigan girls survived frigid temperatures after escaping from a vehicle crash.
Dramatic crime scene photos, damning interrogation tapes, and twisted lies. She's been silent, but now she's ready to expose her daughter's lies.
There is no way it's him.
I wanted with words for them to throw her up against the wall and say, "You're done."
That was a big turning point for me. There's something wrong in this case.
You guys are going to find this so interesting, I promise you. New Dr. Phil.
The dogs bit me from behind.
A pit bull owner oblivious to reality.
You still have all these dogs, sir?
Yes, I do. They're great dogs, too. While a neighbor suffers through the aftermath.
Where are you giving the rabies shots?
2 in the thighs, 2 in the arms at the same time, and 1 in the bite. And that was one day. And then I had 3 more after that.
That's because your dogs didn't have rabies shots.
Next, Judge Judy.
The United States returned several stolen artifacts to Italy today. The Italian Ministry of Culture presented more than 60 artifacts recovered from U.S. museums and private collections during a press conference in Rome. The Manhattan's District Chief of Antiques Trafficking Unit spoke at the press conference.
Since I have been the head of New York's Antiquities Trafficking Unit, we have recovered more than 4,500 priceless treasures ripped from 25 countries and valued at more than $300 million US.
The artifacts are estimated to be worth about $20 million and include a marble head representing the Greek goddess Athena and an important fresco from the Roman city of Pompeii, renowned for its ruins and for its tragic end under the eruption of Mount Vesuvius, the volcano, in 79 AD.
2 young Michigan girls survived frigid temperatures after the vehicle they were in crashed into a lake. When deputies arrived, they found a 52-year-old man who was deceased. It's unclear if the incident was an accident or if the vehicle was intentionally driven into the lake. 2 young girls survived the crash by clinging to each other in the cold weather. Both children were treated for exposure to the cold and released from an area hospital.
Those 2 young ladies, unlucky they got in that situation, but very lucky they're alive.
Absolutely.
All right, and now we go to your First Warn Storm Team meteorologist, Trey Mining, for your last look. Trey?
Meteorologist Trey Mining here. And looking at the forecast right quick, tomorrow's an alert day, definitely with thunderstorms likely. Some of those could be on the severe side, be weather aware. We cool down Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday with highs only in the 50s. Back up to near 70 degrees by the weekend, another rain chance. Again, tomorrow, alert day, severe weather potential in the afternoon. So keep a heads up about the weather and, of course, play it safe, of course. I know you will. We'll keep you informed right here as we go throughout the day for any severe weather potential.
Finally tonight, Splash Mountain shut down today as renovations begin on a new water attraction at Walt Disney World. Tiana's Bayou Adventure is the new ride. Now the ride will feature scenes inspired by the Princess and the Frog along with the characters. It's a welcome change from Splash Mountain's original and controversial design, which featured animated characters from Song of the South, which some people feel is, anyway. The Splash Mountain at Disneyland in California is also slated to get a makeover. Let's just say about the Song of the South, not politically correct.
A little outdated for sure. Not appropriate for these.
Yeah.
For this time.
You got it. Okay.
Yeah. Well, thank you for joining us for 25 News Now at 10. Remember, we're streaming 24/7 on Crossroads Today Plus. We also have that new website.
Yeah. Join Carolina Astrain and meteorologist Trey Mining for 25 News Now Sunrise starting at 5 a.m. to get the latest on the bad weather coming here. Good night, everybody.